Hey, Seth.
Hey, Allie.
All right. So we have a guest today that is connected to a previous guest that we had. So do you remember Hunter Miranda?
Of course. Of course.
Unfortunately, did not win his primary. We love him. We hope that he will maybe even just remotely consider running again. But we have his campaign manager on today, who
Okay.
also is a human rights advocate, an activist, a rising progressive superstar who has his own political aspirations. Let's welcome him in, Aidan Salas. Welcome to Left Out Loud.
Thank you so much for
Hey.
having me. Hello, hello.
Absolutely. Thank you for coming. So, we don't want to focus too much on Hunter because we're here to talk to you, but talk to us about just how did you get, well, let's go back even further. You are 20 years old. You have managed a campaign for a previous guest. When did all of your political sort of interest begin? Did you have a singular event that sort of launched you into your political interests?
I've always been political. Like when I told my outside family that we don't really talk to, like, oh yeah, just letting you guys know this is what I'm doing now. They all
Mm-hmm.
responded, I'm not very surprised. Like you've always been this
Hmm.
type.
Right.
You like to try to be right and you love sitting at the adult table arguing with us about something you never
Mm-hmm.
experienced.
Love
And
that.
so
Yeah.
so I've always kind of had that older mentality.
Mm-hmm.
I remember I always ask I always ask my dad questions like, with Medicare, why can't it just be cheaper? Like my
Yeah.
mom, she has a lot of like health problems, and I always ask like, why does it have to be how it is now? And I always saw like it can be changed. And
Mm-hmm.
then yeah, like we were doing good, or we are doing good, and we moved out to Northern California from SoCal, and from there I got into a school. So I went from public to an academy now, and
Mm-hmm.
the opening statement they told me was, "You're allowed to debate at this school." And my parents warned the staff, like, you shouldn't have told them that. I took every debate class, and when I
Uh-huh.
graduated, they all said, the director of the school said, I would love to welcome Aiden to the stage. Also, he's a dangerous debater. Like, it got to the point where they were like, this guy is either going to be a politician or, political activist like Martin
Right.
Luther King, just out there speaking, but no
Mm-hmm.
politics. And um, and so yeah, so since I was young, I don't know, 8 or 9 years old, I've always done research on politics. And then when I was like 17 years old, I started just interning with candidates and stuff. And then, um, yeah, I used to have a just retail job, and then I was political there. Like I I got promoted to a manager position, and yeah, since it's like a $1 billion company, they wanted to obviously screw over the people, and
Mm.
kept saying like, hey, it's not right. It's not right for my associates, or it's not right for the customers. So they did the greater thing to make it easier for them and just fire me.
Oh
So
my God.
I go home and I told my parents, hey, like I know I have a purpose. I know.
Mm-hmm.
So um, one day, I sleep in, and then I just hear banging at the door, and it's a lovely candidate, Eric Jones, progressive candidate in my area. And then worked with him for a bit, and then yeah, I was like, I know I can do greater things. So I left and met up with Hunter, and from there I explained who I am, explained that with me on the team, it will be a right thing. And then got in contact with a lot of other progressives because of Hunter. And since then, it kind of showed me it doesn't matter about age, it doesn't matter about,
Mm-mm.
religion, ethnicity. It just matters about whether you put the people first over
Yeah.
politics. And that's why I always remind every single person it's always people over politics.
Absolutely. Phenomenal backstory. I love that Hunter. I mean, I obviously I love how much work you've put in, right, to sort of become more engaged and involved in your community politics, but also so fantastic that Hunter took this chance on you, right, to
Yeah.
lead his campaign. Just amazing, and it speaks volumes about you and
Yeah.
your commitment.
Yeah, absolutely. Like, after the race sadly didn't go our way, I gave him a call and I was like, you took a chance on like
Yeah.
if I were to go to any candidate and be like, hey, I'm not 40 years old with 20 years political
Right.
experience. Um,
Yeah.
and me and him were talking, and one of the greatest things he said that I'm going to continue on with my campaign was everything is, so every city, every district, every person is all going to campaign different.
Yep.
And it's not all the same. So we were learning together, and he couldn't ask for a better person, and it kind of warmed my heart. So when I went to go find my staff, it was I got to do it my way and
Mm-hmm.
find that team chemistry just like how he did, because his team chemistry was amazing. He did amazing getting the staff.
I'm glad to hear that. Not surprised.
Yeah, I know he is good.
Yeah, man, it's super impressive. And like what I like about Gen Z is that you guys are more involved. You're very smart, you're very informed, kind of grew up in the tech era,
Yeah,
which
Hmm.
is a little bit different from, say, me, a millennial, where first half of my life, absolutely none of that. And then all of a sudden you're thrown into social media and the internet and all that. So but what I would say, what I want to know is, in this last election, Gen Z, there was record voter turnout, things like that. But we thought that we would see just a little bit more. Like I'm not
yeah,
sure where our expectations were, because kids are young and they're
yeah,
impressionable, and so you guys are a lot more literate, a lot more informed, but there is the red pill aspect
yeah,
that younger kids and even millennials fell into, right?
yeah.
And so, what do you think was what do you think was really behind that, especially during the election? Coming from your generation, what did you
Yeah.
see leading up to that election that maybe kind of explains why we didn't see as big of a push from Gen
Yeah,
Z?
so what I noticed is in this election recently, I have noticed a lot of people were playing the social media route. For instance, if we look back then to, let's just say, Obama or Bush, like they were kind of just campaigning all throughout the nation, just
Hmm.
as much events as possible. And then with the recent election, we can also see people going on Instagram lives, stuff like that. But I also think and I will be honest, the younger generation does also follow trends. And I will say the Republican side was really good at just making a lot of trends. For instance, a great example is MAGA. Like MAGA became such a huge household thing where some kids were thinking, maybe this is the right way.
Mm,
And we can kind of see it with like Mamdani, where he had a
Yeah.
crazy turnout rate from people that's never voted in their life to people registering the first time to vote just to circle his name in, just because they were excited because people in their family or friends or anybody around was just talking about it. So I think it's also a big trend aspect where politics, for once, I think we can all agree, where it became a household where in a way it almost became like fun almost.
Hmm.
mm, interesting.
So, so talking about Mamdani, and then obviously he just had some candidates also win their primaries,
Yeah.
candidates that he backed. How are you feeling? I know that you are obviously progressive. Um, how are you? Do you feel hopeful? Do you feel like maybe that's the new trend?
Yeah.
Um, or is it here to stay? Do you think it will just continue to grow as time goes on?
Yeah, so I think as a true progressive, because I think also progressive was thrown around so harshly
Mm-hmm.
before. So when we start seeing actual true progressives get in office and make those changes, I think it will also make a lot of people more comfortable saying the
Yeah.
word progressive.
Yeah.
Because, yeah, like when I've said progressive, I've gotten a lot of like, I guess I would
Pushback.
say feedback. Yeah,
Yeah.
just
Yeah.
saying I'm a communist or something. I'm like, that's lovely. Thank you guys.
Yeah.
Um,
We hear it
but
all the time.
I know. So I'm like, thank you guys. But yeah, so I feel like once people start seeing truly all the good that they're doing, I mean, I will say it's a political podcast, so I can go to the extent, but I will
Hmm.
say America has done a great job like brainwashing American citizens where if I vote for somebody in office and all they're doing is good, it's a check his background because he wants something out of this.
Yeah.
Like how much slander all these, politicians that are truly trying to help like candidates and they're saying, "Hey, it's too good to be true. I don't want to vote for him."
Mm-hmm.
Like I was asked the other day, what's my main thing? What's my main policy? And I was like, I have to go to my colleagues to get these policies passed. But what I can guarantee you, I don't want to make promises, but the promise I'll make you is I will fight for you. And the bills I sign I will not sign a bill going, is this what they want or is this what they don't want? I
Right.
will think, sit down and say, is this what my people want?
Yeah.
And it's just hard for them to believe it because
Mm-hmm.
we haven't had that for so long. So once we start noticing, hey, like we're actually truly here for you guys and progressive title is actually used properly, I
Right.
think it will start creating a trend.
I think you're right. I think there's a lot of stigma around the word. I think a lot of people don't really understand what progressive means. I think they equate it with all kinds of crazy things like culture war issues and blue hair and and the reality is that progressivism is really about what you said at the very beginning of the show, putting people first, right?
Mhm.
Policies that actually help working class Americans and most Americans for that matter.
Yeah.
And I'm hoping that as we see more progressive policies make their way in to local politics and federal politics, we will see more people embracing the idea of
Yeah.
progressivism.
Hmm.
So I agree with you 100% on that.
And I think it's at the end of the day, we are in a results oriented business, right? Like people want to see everything work in real time. It's great to talk about it. A lot of people say if you're progressive, you're too idealistic. But I always like to say there's so much money. You just don't understand. We
Yeah.
could
Yeah.
be, it's all about priorities. So
Yeah.
what do you really prioritize in terms of as your politics evolve and you look at policies that you want to kind of implement once you would try to get into office. What are your priorities? What's most important to you?
Yeah. So what's most important, so what I want to do first is a lot of people ask with all my policies before I continue is all of my ideals and stuff will make their taxes go up. And I say no. For instance, California gave $6.8 billion to Israel. As state assembly, I budget it. We're putting that to an end. We're done. No
Mm,
more money. And with that money, we're going to get it back and we're going to stop sending it with all that accumulated money. I want to put it back into the people. A great example is when I was first born, I mean, there was three classes. And now that I'm growing up, I'm like, is there even a middle class? It's either you're rich or you're
right.
poor because it's like people in office that are going in there and screwing it up. So I want to put it back into the people, whether that is put it back into reforming our parks. I mean, there's a lot of parks that need some work. Uh, Fixing our roads, helping the housing, first time buyers. I know a lot of older people that are retiring and going into an apartment just for safety that they're going to lose their home.
Mhm.
Like it's stuff like this where you don't do. And if we're truly a democracy, then why are we treating our people like this?
Yeah.
And and so I just want to use all the money and instead of, pocketing it or, you know, sending it all to Israel or just making a ballroom, because I don't think I need a ballroom at the Sacramento Capitol.
Yeah.
I think it'd be better to use that money and actually give it to the people that vote for me and the people that even didn't vote for me, because my job isn't to represent certain people. So,
Yeah.
Yeah. You talked about the parks, and one of the things in the ballroom, one of the things that's really pissed me off the most about Trump is that he is taking money from our parks budget and putting it into his own little beautification projects around the White House.
yep.
And it just speaks to, you're not about the people.
No.
You're not into investing into us. You're
Yep.
just trying to create this palace
Hmm.
that none of us
Absolutely.
will be able to enjoy. None of us will ever set foot inside that ballroom. And so
Yeah.
is it really the people's house? Is it really the people's ballroom? I think not.
Yeah, like a great example. I remember I was having a conversation and I said, the White House is where the president lives, but the White House represents us. And
Yeah.
I've even seen a lot of Republicans say, I didn't ask for that ballroom.
Yeah.
Their own, like, I have seen so much Republicans either switch sides or go, I'm still Republican, but what the hell is going on in office?
Yeah. Yeah, it's excessive. It's excess. It's really out of touch with, I think, the way most Americans are feeling right now. They can continue to say the economy is doing great, but we are not feeling that. We are not seeing that when we look at grocery prices and prices at the pump. Now Iran is starting to feel like it may literally be a forever war. We just can't seem to come to an agreement with them. Um, so yeah, when you're doing things like vanity projects and building ballrooms and arches and we don't even know what the scaffolding is around the White House right now that they've
Right.
covered up with tarp. They're saying
Yeah.
it's, you know, dings on the columns. Like you don't need scaffolding to take care of
Yeah.
dings on columns.
Yeah.
God only knows what's going to be sitting there when they take all
Oh
that
yeah.
down.
Oh yeah.
Um, so we've buried the lead for a while now. Let's get into your plan, Adam. So
Perfect.
you plan to run for State Assembly, District 5, California. Currently, that role has been filled by Joe Patterson, a Republican. He was first elected in 2022. There's a 12-year term limit in California. So if you're a state assembly person, you can only have that 6 terms, and
Yep.
then you're automatically timed out. Um, Talk to me about so you have not officially launched this campaign.
No.
You're not running for 2026. You're going to be running for 2028.
Correct.
And talk to me about sort of what even made you think to I mean, you're 20 years old, and I'm not minimizing, I don't say that to minimize your experience. I say that to really applaud you because at 20 years old, you're thinking about running for state assembly, which is remarkable.
Yeah. A lot of
So,
people aren't willing to step up at a young age.
yeah,
Yeah.
absolutely. So, kind of what set you on the path? Was it this last campaign that you worked on with Hunter? Like, how did you arrive at this decision?
Yeah, so I always knew I wanted to run. I
Hmm.
always knew that. Like when I was younger and it was what do you want to be when you grow up? My mom has all the papers somewhere. Like when I run, I'll probably ask her, "Hey, can we tear the house down and find it?" But there's kids' papers of me like drawing the White House, drawing the American flag, drawing all that stuff and writing on the back of it, I want to be president, I want to be Congress, I want to sign
Yeah.
bills. And I always had reasons, and all my reasons were to help people. And I
Hmm.
believe what's going on in office is not working. It's
Yeah.
not. And whether that is on a city level, a state level, or federal, it's not working.
Right.
And I've been told, hey, you're young, why not start at the council or anything? But I I don't want to have that pushback, whether I want to do something with the city and the state not like it. While and what I mean by that is I'm going to do a lot of good and I know it, that
Hmm.
obviously the state and federal area will not like it.
Right.
So with the previous campaign I worked on with Hunter, and I also did help out at other campaigns as well because it was just so open. Um, a lot of the people I worked with were so young, and
Hmm.
I remember I sent Hunter a long text one day, and I said, "Just out of curiosity," I'll sum it up. I was like, "Out of curiosity, what's your thoughts on state assembly?" And he responded back 2 days later. So thanks to him, uh, he said, "It's very important."
Yeah.
And I don't know, a week later, I sent him, in 2028, I'm going to be running for state assembly. And I
Love it.
sat with
Manifest it. That's how you
exactly,
manifest it. I love that.
exactly.
And
So,
listen, people underestimate how impactful and important local politics are to their day-to-day lives. In
absolutely.
this country, we really take that for granted. We really underestimate the power of our local politics.
Yeah, yeah,
So I think it's brilliant that that's where you want to start. Um,
yeah.
and so, oh, I had another question for you. What was it? Okay. So do you think that you will go the route of getting a campaign manager, or since you've already done that, do you feel comfortable kind of running your own campaign at this point?
No, so I did bring on a team. We have
Okay.
a team of like 7 to 8 people already. We're kind of strategizing all of that
Oh,
type of stuff. Um, And yeah, the main thing we're kind of working on right now is, and I hope he's watching it, because just as much as I say I hope he campaigns, because once I win the primary, I want to make it a mark of, like I said, Seth, Joe Patterson has not campaigned. The
Yeah.
only time he campaigned was in his first term. Other than that, he's not campaigned. He has not stepped foot outside, and he keeps winning because I live in a red district. And I know once we get a strong Democrat candidate, that it will give some pushback. So I want
Is
him
he
to,
is he is he holding any halls or meeting
no,
with nothing. Nothing
nothing.
since he's been elected. We hear this
And
unfortunately time and time again as well.
Man, do we hear it.
yeah, I know. And that's another reason, like, then that's why I was very close with saying that's why I'm going to talk to my people.
Yeah.
And I don't mean my people as my staff. I mean my people that I represent. Whether
Mm-hmm.
that's a bill going through, I have 7 days to sign that. I don't. What's
Mm-hmm.
the rush to veto it or not veto it? And so I can, set a town hall 2 days later,
Yep.
and hey, this is, what we're going through. Do we agree? And I don't care if, it's a really strong MAGA saying yes or no. Um, I'm taking his like examples just as much as I'm taking the blue side as well.
Right. And there
And
could be a democracy within a democracy, right? And
exactly.
understanding that not everyone is going to get their way on every vote, but you can certainly get a consensus. You can
Yeah.
certainly get a majority in
Yeah.
terms of understanding what the people are really looking for. And our politicians right now, they just don't do that. And your representative, your assembly person is a perfect example of that, right?
Yeah, great example. I really do hope he knows what my main goal is. But when I step in office, I'm going to be reversing a lot of stuff he created. For
Mm.
instance, he backed banning books. I'm sorry, but we have
Ugh.
no right. We have no right touching children's books.
In
Uh,
2026 in California, banning
yeah,
books.
I have a so Mexican family. We're very close. My two
Yeah.
older brothers, they graduated. I don't need to worry about them no more with education. My little sister, she's going to school. The last thing I want is to ask her what happened with civil rights, and her respond back, what is that?
Yeah,
Why are we going to ban books? So
exactly.
if it goes through, I'm reversing it. And what I noticed is I did sign up on his email so I can get his
You can
emails.
track. Yeah.
Yeah, and he does like a lot of, hey, I helped this bill go through. And I look and I'm like, no, you didn't. That's a Congress and Senate bill. You did nothing for that bill. And
Oh,
so
he's
yeah,
gonna
so
hate to see you coming, Aiden.
oh,
He's gonna
most of my,
hate to see you
yes,
coming.
yes. So most of the videos we're going to be doing, I'm going to basically not only sit down with people and tell them like, hey, he said he's doing this, but it's actually this. I'm going to sit down, and I know how politics works. We're going to
Hmm.
purposely make it confusing for you. I'm going to read it. I'm going to explain it like it's nothing to them,
Yeah,
put it in simple terms and go, this is truly what the bill means. So as great as it sounds, this is actually what it means, and here's
love
proof.
it. Love that.
So I will sit down with every voter, and every question they have on every bill he has signed or vetoed.
Hmm.
He vetoed for corporations. We give them more power now,
Yeah,
and so the bill sounds great. It's made so well where it's like, I'm so glad he said yes to this. And once I read it to the people, like, no, 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 that means corporations can have now have more power over you. It's never
yeah.
corporations over people. And when they actually read the bill, they're going to realize my representative is just as corrupt as the people in Congress, Senate, and the cabinet.
As they so often are.
I mean, and so what I would like to, just touching on that, sorry, I kind of blanked out there for a second. Um, remind me, because sometimes I space out. What were we just talking
His
about?
veto
Okay,
Yeah.
and
okay.
corporations.
That's right. That's right. So first off, it's amazing that you're already scouting the competition. Because that right there, as a sports
Mhm.
guy, I dig
Oh
that
yeah,
because
Yeah.
you're
yeah,
going to go in there, he's not going to see you coming, and you're
Hmm.
already going to have you're going to be locked and loaded. So
yeah,
that's already just a great thing to be scouting out, and
Yeah.
so
yeah,
that you're prepared and you're a debater. So
Ooh.
He, I mean, it's going to be a problem.
Yeah, I would
So
love to.
yeah, I mean
Like,
that's gonna
Oh,
be fun
I
to
know you're
keep
itching
up
for a debate, Aiden. I know
oh,
that.
I
I know that.
was talking to my grandma earlier on my lovely walk, and I was like, I'm this close to just sending an email going, "What's the problem? Hey, I'm half your age. You know, why would you be scared to debate me? Please debate me."
Yeah.
And
And another thing I was gonna say is like it really is brilliant to just put it in layman's terms
yeah.
for a lot of the voters because so often we get fooled by the legalese and
Hmm.
the highfalutin language. That's the term that we use in Alabama. The highfalutin fancy language, right?
yep,
But explaining it to the people that you're and removing that kind of like confusing legalistic barrier, I think that's brilliant as well. So
Yeah.
the only thing the last thing that I would like to say is obviously you're part of the Latino community and ICE has been awful. And but we saw a lot of Latinos vote for Trump in 2024. What I would like to know is what have you seen over the last 18 months? Have you seen a change within the community? What have you been seeing like on the ground in terms of because I'm sure so many people either have had something happen to them or know somebody where something has happened to them, and of course we just lost somebody just this past week to ICE violence,
Yeah.
a guy who's been living here in America for 35 years, and
yep.
it didn't matter. So what are the rumblings going on in the Latino community? Is going into these midterms, how are people feeling?
Yeah, so first, I want to take that moment to acknowledge not just him, but all of the ICE agents killing. I think we're at 16 ever since Trump has been in office. I think that's the number.
Hmm.
Um, and so, yeah, every single one, I can't sit down and or even lay down and go to sleep and say, I understand why they shot. Can't
Yeah.
do that.
All right.
And what I can say is what I noticed is people were doing the No Kings protest all the time. And what I noticed is when I did the protest, the No Kings protest, so much people showed out. We do it like once a month, and I feel like every month it grows by like tens of hundreds. Like
Yeah.
it grows and grows. Now I do see, some people in the Latino community that do notice, or I do notice that they are very MAGA, and I don't, sit with them with discuss like, hey, we're supposed to back each other or anything, but I try my best to enlighten what is going on. Like
Mm.
whether it's Republican or Democrat, we have to agree this is not right. This is
Yeah.
America. To rip people out of their cars. Like I saw an amazing comment on a post where it said, would I be the problem if I accidentally grabbed my gun because a masked man is rushing my car, ripping the door open and taking me out? And
Right.
they don't go, I'm an ICE agent. They don't do any of that. And sometimes they put a sweater over their bulletproof vest. So it's just a mask
Hmm.
and like the girl grew up in Detroit and she's like if a masked man came to me, whether it's a cop, a SWAT team, a, I think they even went on to like a secret agent or something, my instincts as a human is my life is in danger, do whatever it
Sure.
takes.
Of course.
And we got to think of like, okay, the CIA, FBI, all of that, okay, but ICE was created in 2001 to protect us from terrorists, as
Hmm.
they said when they first got created. And ever since, they have only been focusing on ruining us. And this wasn't just Trump, this was, prior presidents as well that
Yeah.
are harming American citizens. Now, I will say, okay, they do take, the people they say they take out, but it's that great percent that has not been lowered and it's only been going up.
Yep. Yeah. They said the criminals, they were only going after criminals, people with criminal records. That is not the case. We've seen time and time again, the data shows that's predominantly not who they're sweeping up in these, mass deportation efforts. And it's breaking apart families. I
Yeah.
mean, the people that have lost their lives for absolutely no reason, putting that aside, which is atrocious and a stain on our history forever.
Yeah.
Um, the fact that you're breaking up families, destroying families, hardworking families, just here to make a better life for themselves and their families, paying taxes, contributing to our society in the most positive, meaningful ways. I don't think, I mean, there has to be a change.
Yeah.
After this administration is gone, we have to find a way for real immigration reform that is humane and just and leans into helping immigrants versus harming them and targeting
Yeah.
them.
Absolutely. Like one story that still breaks my heart, even though it was a long time ago, was or a few is some, I think it was in Dallas. It was in Texas. I can guarantee that is ICE agents were outside schools, like not
Yes.
high schools, middle schools. They were outside elementary schools. And
Yes.
I remember when I was growing up, we had the superintendent and their staff in suit and ties, and that scared all the kids already. And they came in to ask some
Right.
questions because our teacher was like yelling and said that they're like, we need to investigate her because
Yeah.
like there was a lot of teacher complaints. That already just suit and ties, and it's just the school district was scaring the kids.
Right.
Now imagine ICE agents coming into a school, throwing people on the ground, teachers on the ground that are saying, "Hey, like you can't do this," and throwing them on the ground. That's what
Trauma.
is that
That's
going to do?
trauma.
Yeah,
Yeah, that's
exactly.
PTSD for these kids.
Yeah, and then even another one where it was like a 6-year old went to appear in front of a judge because they just got picked up by ICE, and the judge was like, "Do you know who? Like, do you have a lawyer? Do you know what even a lawyer is?"
Right.
The kid doesn't know anything.
No,
Like, what is
no.
he supposed to do? Get sworn in and go, "All right, I swear to tell the truth, the whole truth, nothing but the truth." Like, no.
Insane. Absolutely insane. Well, Aiden, I mean, so you're not officially launched yet, but you've got a nice long runway. I think that's so smart. I think that's brilliant, in fact, to sort of soft launch, initially do your hard launch, but giving yourself all of that time to connect with community members, with voters. So tell our listeners, our audience, how do they find you? Follow along with you throughout this journey because I feel like really big things are coming your way, Aiden.
Yeah, so I'm a human rights advocate, so I don't pick and choose who to represent. If you are a human, even animals, I'll represent an animal too.
Yeah.
I am for the people. So you can find me at Aidan.Salas28, Aidan, Aidan. My parents wanted to be different, and I don't blame them.
Mhm.
So you can find me there no matter what. I always put people over politics. Corporations, no. If you can find anything of me even talking to a corporation asking for money, that won't happen. I put people first no matter what. Every bill I put into play, it'll be people first. And yeah, we'll create websites, TikTok, all of that pretty soon. But we want to start off very local and
Yep.
try not to make it confusing for the people because we know how the tech is. So
Exactly. So for now, go to Aiden's socials, hit follow, get in on this journey now because I really think you're going places. I
thank
have
you
a
so
lot of
much.
confidence in you. And I think your passion, again, for someone so young, which is not a bad thing, I think it's a great thing that you're so motivated and involved in your local community at this age. Um, I think you have a big, bright future ahead of you, Aiden. I really
Thank you so
do.
much. Thank you.
Yeah, man, you're showing a lot of initiative.
Yeah.
And again,
Thank you.
it takes guts to step out this early
Mhm.
because a lot of people, at 20, I was trying to find the next party. So, and not a political party, my
Yeah.
friend.
Yeah, yeah, of
So,
course, of
you know
course.
what I mean? So it is just so very impressive to see
It
you
is.
already with great morals and ethics and you've got your
Values.
yeah, you got your values in line. You're
Yeah.
prioritizing right. So, we're very excited that you're here and we can't wait to see what everything has in store for you.
Yeah.
Absolutely, yeah. Once I'm in office, I gotta come back. Be
Oh,
like, hey, here's
absolutely.
what bill I'm
I
signing,
want you
all
to
of
come
that.
back after the hard launch. I want to talk to you after you're
Yep.
in
Absolutely,
office. Let's
absolutely. Let's do
definitely
it.
stay connected. You're a friend of the show
Absolutely.
for life now.
Perfect.
So,
Yeah, I would love
Aiden,
to.
thank you so much. I really appreciate this time.
Thank you so much for having me.
Well, thank you
Absolutely.
both. Well, Allie, we just got done talking with Aidan Salas. He's running for state assembly there in District 5 of California. And, we said many times a bright future for that kid.
Yeah,
So positive, has his priorities in order. And I can't wait to see what's in store for him because I mean he's a leader. He's a natural born leader and he's stepped into the spotlight or getting ready to at such a young age. It's very impressive.
absolutely. And I'm like really dating myself here, but he reminds me of like an Alex P. Keaton type from Family Ties, but
Oh,
on the left, like progressive, because
uh-huh.
Alex P. Keaton was a Republican, a Ronald Reagan lover. Lance knows what I'm talking about. I know he's sitting there quietly, but he knows what I mean. You're a millennial. You weren't around for Family Ties, but yeah, he's so smart. He's had this interest in politics most of his life since he was a small child. He has always been aspirational in terms of helping people. He was talking about the walk he took with his grandmother tonight. Like, come on. I love this kid. He's just solid. He's already worked on a campaign for Hunter Miranda, who ran
Right.
for Congress, who we've had here at 20 years old. I mean, neither one of us were doing that, Seth.
Nope,
Nothing
not
even
at all.
close.
Not at all. And so that's why I'm saying like he is like when you're looking at him, kids like Jackson Arnold, stuff like
Yeah.
that. I mean, they are the future, and they're
Mm-hmm.
very informed. They're very in tune,
Mm-hmm.
and people don't give them credit. But when you activate these younger generations,
Yeah.
it gives me hope for the future
Yeah.
because
Me too.
it's easy to lose hope here, and
Oh,
if you're a
100%.
prisoner of the moment, but
Yeah.
we talk to these kids, these young kids that are getting out there, and whether they win or not, they're activated, they're
They're
informed,
activated.
and they're they're getting
Hungry.
out
I
there and they're
mean,
and they're changing minds.
Aiden is hungry. He is chomping at the bit to
Mhm.
have a debate with Joe Patterson. I mean, it's, 2 years away, but he's already like, just let me at him. Let me at him because this guy is lying to you or he's ignoring you. And, to have a 20-year-old so politically knowledgeable or politically literate and being able to see like this guy's not here for you and break that down to voters and explain to them what some of these things he's voting on really mean versus how he's selling them to people is, oh, he's got a bright future. I'm
Yeah.
really
And
excited about that.
one other thing, and the last thing, like, he's not when you get further along in life, you become a little bit more jaded, right?
Yes.
and and there's that isn't a part of Aiden yet, and I hope that
Mm-mm.
it doesn't because he's going to go in there and he's talking about laying it down in plain layman's terms for the
Yeah.
people. Not having like this lofty lawyer type language. He's really
Hmm.
trying to put it out there for the people so that everybody can understand. And when everybody understands, class consciousness is possible.
Absolutely. And when everybody has
Yeah,
access to their representative. He wants
facts.
to include you in his vote. He wants to make sure that he is voting for the people and what they really want. And I mean, what more can you ask for? That's what progressivism is all about. That's all it is. It's not scary. It's just for the people.
Yeah.
So that wraps up that one really quickly. So Lindsey Graham died, I guess. I mean,
Wow.
crazy.
Gone.
Didn't have that on my bingo card. That just happened yesterday. Or actually, I guess this morning. I don't know. I found
Yeah,
out about it this
technically.
morning.
Technically. Yeah.
Mitch McConnell came out with proof of life, which is just him holding a newspaper with his wife. Like, come on.
Hold on. This man, Allie, was in a button-up shirt and jeans in a hospital bed.
Yeah.
Hold up. No.
No, no,
No.
no, no
Andy
IVs,
Bashir, you better
no
get up in
nothing.
there.
Seriously, bust
Ain't
the
no
door
way,
down,
bro.
Andy, because this is not real. This is not real.
I'm sorry. What hospital patient is wandering the halls with his jeans tucked in and his button-down shirt tucked in? Like,
I know.
no, bro.
And
No.
like,
Ain't no
and like,
way.
okay, so he's allegedly had multiple conversations with, you know,
Yeah.
Scott Jennings and a couple other people. Um, and now he's posing for pictures. Do you know what would make this all go away?
Hmm.
Just do a quick presser.
I
Just
was just
have the
about to say,
camera come in.
hey,
Hey, it's me, Mitch. Want to let you know I'm doing well. I can't vote just yet, but I'm getting better. That's all it would take. They're doing everything but the thing that would make people believe that
yeah,
this man is still alive.
yeah.
Everything but
I'm gonna need to see the metadata on that picture. All right.
100%.
Until I see him, I mean, do put the interview on Fox News. I don't care. I
Yeah,
want to see you live on camera
absolutely.
because ain't no pictures, bro.
No,
That
if you're
is
doing
not.
that well and you're no longer in the hospital and you are in a rehab facility, allegedly, you for damn sure can get a camera in your face and say, "Hello, America, I'm alive." That's all we're looking for.
I'm alive. I'm alive. Everybody.
Better you than me.
So,
So anyway, that's kind of the crazy current news of the weekend. I just wanted to touch on that. And who knows, maybe during our next interview, we'll still be saying, where in the hell is Mitch McConnell at this
I have a
point?
feeling that we will.
Yeah. So, all right, another great interview, more to come, and I will see you very soon.
Yes, indeed. See you soon.
Bye.